Happy spring, everyone. It's officially April. I'm recording this in February 5th of 2024. It's been an interesting year, but let's talk about the Mercury retrograde that is going on from April 1st until April 25th in Aries. So as we all know, Aries is the energy of motion, energy of action, energy of getting things done. And so with a Mercury retrograde, that just means our communication with each other as we try to get things done might be a little off. So just take some time to just slowly explain things to people. If you experience what I just experienced as I was prepping for this video, technology crashing, freezing, or doing whatever that it wants to do, just be still, let it catch up to itself. The Mercury retrograde so far, I would say for the past couple of years have been kind of, I think because we're aware of it, we react to it differently. So just take some time. If you see like communication is acting up, just slow it down. Don't get mad, don't get frustrated, don't throw an adult tantrum. Just calmly let it pace itself, let it catch up with itself, and then you can go on from there. Let's jump right into that Aries new moon. So it's a Monday, it's a happy Monday, and we're in Aries. If you guys have been listening to my videos for the past 4 years, you know how in love I am with the Aries energy. As a steady bull, I love to be pushed, I love to be challenged, and the energy of Aries does just that. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to play out during the spring season. We all know that fiery ram owns the spring season. He comes ramming through the end of winter and blazing the fire for spring. It's Monday. We are human and we have created this culture of hating Mondays. So you might want to chill on that on this April 8th. So the Aries energy is ruled by Mars. Mars is a deity of war. Mars is a deity of movement, of motion, of action. Our color is red for the energy of Aries, but for the actual day, the colors of white and silver will be ruling over the energy of Monday. Monday is naturally ruled by the moon, so it's an action-packed Monday. You have the red Martian covered in Aries action energy coming in with the icy white silver moon that is ruled by Cancer. So it's a situation where you want to take action on your emotions, you want to take action on your personal subconscious thoughts, you want to take action on your intuitive mannerism, your behavior pattern, those deep side of us that we don't express to people. You want to pay close attention to those parts of yourself. Aries is the energy of I am, and in our chakra, Aries is our third chakra, our solar plexus. So this is a moment for you to focus on you. You're not being selfish. You're not being, unloving to anyone or disregarding anyone. You're just using this energy to focus on you. You're using this energy to better you. And I'm not sure what kind of year you guys are having, but I know totality, we are having a very interesting years. I said years. It feels like years. We're having a very interesting year. From the beginning of the year that started with a boom. I think it was like day 2 of January. There was all kind of news, all kind of craziness going on. I'm not sure what your personal city is like, but my city is just, it's on fire with action, and action is not productive. So this is a time for you as spring is starting to warm itself up. If you live in those colder cities and states, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's April 1st, it's true, but it's still a little chilly outside. Just focus on the warmth. Know that by mid-April to early May, things will warm up significantly, and you will have that energy that you already built within yourself to grow and continue. Now, on the same note of working on self, we do have the total, don't mind me, it was a brain fart trying to get these words together. We have our super total solar eclipse in Aries. Now what that means is we have the time to set our intentions, create visions, focus on everything we want to change, create what feels right in our hearts. So, it piggybacks off of the original message of working on you. Change yourself, and I don't mean do those complete makeovers of yourself, but change those minor things about yourself that you're just like, you know what, it's a pet peeve for me that I do this. Spend this time, like this 2-week period of the new moon before the full moon hits. Spend that time building that energy, that new energy that you want to thrive within. Spend that time changing what you don't agree with yourself. Like, let go of those past derogatory or energies that you don't like about yourself. I lost my words. Energies that you don't like about yourself. You kind of build on that new you. And in my opinion, based on how 2024 is going, we're going to spend a whole heap of this year building that new us that we were so excited about in the beginning of the year. I think this year is the year of actually building the new us. Use that super total solar eclipse in Aries to do that. Remember, it's action time. It's getting things done time. Don't sit thinking that things are just going to change for you. Even if you don't feel like it, do it. Even if you're scared, push it. No matter what, keep going. So as you can see, the build-up was specifically for this. We have a situation where our actual energy is motion. Our total solar eclipse is motion, is forward movement. But our tarot card of the new moon is stagnation. I put the two cards in two different ways so that you guys can understand. If you don't move, if you don't get going, if you don't shake yourself awake, you're going to fall into the space of fear. You're going to fall into resistance to change, stagnation, what we consider to be limbo, purgatory of the mind, purgatory of motion. You're going to hold on to stuff that really doesn't matter to you. And then you're going to create from all of those the inability to move. Now, I'm not sure what your zodiac sign is as you're listening to this. The bull in me just like grabbed onto some of that fire and just started shaking herself. She was just like, not me. I got stuff to do this year. I gotta move. You understand? That's how you gotta be. You cannot let the outside world, the social world, the social media world, friends, family, you cannot let anyone get in your way of getting done what you need to get done. One thing that's for sure is that in the past couple of years, I've noticed there's two types of people in our reality right now. There's one type that pretend like they want change. They pretend like they want goodness to happen, but they really don't. They're really pretending in their deep inner intuitive minds, in their deep intuitive intentions. They just want things to stay the same. You got to be very wary of those people because they're going to stand in your way. They're going to stand in your way. They're going to stop whatever it is that you're trying to do. They're going to stop you if they can. You have to use that fiery energy to just push. I'll use, for example, my moon in Scorpio. I'm a sun in Taurus, moon in Scorpio, right? So as my sun in Taurus is taking that fiery energy at the tip of her horns and she's just shaking that fire and moving forward and trudging forward, my moon in Scorpio takes that fire energy at the tip of her stinger and she's just swinging it at anything that stands in her way. That's how you got to be. You really have to be able to just clear out your spiritual energy because everything we want to do starts from within. You got to clear that self-doubt. You got to clear that self-negative talk. You got to clear that self-hatred. You got to clear all of that so that the reverse death tarot card doesn't have the option to work with you. Because because death upright is transformation, is change. But in reverse, it's the opposite. So you got to shake that stuff off, man. You got to move. You can't be stuck because come on, it's April. It's one of the most luscious months of the year. Flowers are blossoming, birds are finally coming out of hiding. Our beautiful butterflies and other insects, ladybugs, all those beautiful insects are coming out of hiding. The world is starting to come back to life. You need to come back to life. You need to shake off that winter freeze, that winter freeze, and heat yourself back up and come out of hibernation. So this is the lineup for ending out the new moon. We have our silver and white candles. As you know, silver and white are colors of purity, reproduction, colors of unity. So you want to use those two candles to just balance out your new moon ritual. And then we have the yellow smithsonite, which is an energy that will balance out your solar plexus. With the new moon being ruled by Aries, it's the perfect stone to use to balance out your solar plexus. So possibly light your candles, grab your two stones. I did the finished stone as well as the raw rocky looking stone. It's all up to you how you want to use it. If you want to go out and grab a more raw, authentic, rocky looking yellow smithsonite, or a more polished, finished smithsonite, it's up to you, because this is your energy you're working with. Like for me, for example, I would work with the raw, rocky one, because that's where my deep intuitive energy is. Like, she's still in a space where there's a part of me that's still in the space in my solar plexus that thinks that it has to compete with my other chakra energetic bodies. It's real crazy in here. Sometimes it's like, it's the most disturbing thing to listen to when you're meditating and balancing yourself. But I would use that for me personally, because I know I'm still dealing with the traumatized, inorganic, raw solar plexus fake I am. You know, my egotistical I am is still trying to fight its way through my balancing, and that's not a good thing, because at the end of the day, the holistic side of me is heading towards that more polished, that more less rigid side of my personality, side of my energetic bodies. So if you're in the same state where you're cleaning up that unappealing part of you, and you're bringing forth the more productive, the more quiet, the more progressive part of you, work with that raw, organic looking yellow smithsonite. But if you are in that space where you did all your work with that more polished. But don't fool yourself, because at the end of the day, each version of that stone, of every stone really, brings about specific capabilities that will help your personal energy enhance itself. So you don't want to be one working with the other just because you're still in that egotistical space, and you don't want to be working with the wrong one just because you're too scared to move forward. Remember, the energy of Aries is I am whatever you are. You fill that blank with whatever it is that you are. That is the energy of Aries. And in the space of I am is no different than any other chakra energetic bodies. There's multiple versions of you. There's the balance you, there's the closed you, there's the overworked you, there's the unbalanced you. There's different versions of you. So listen out to understand which version of you is trying to come through that needs to do the work. Because sometimes we focus on the parts that are very strong, and we don't focus on our lesser parts. Like, there could be a traumatic part of you that's coming forth, and it's not pretty. You know, our traumatic energetic bodies are exactly what we went through and what we felt when we were going through them. Like, I'll give you a brief example. My solar plexus traumatic body, she's broken. She's missing a leg. Her arm is broken. One of her eyes got gouged out. She's always fucking complaining and crying. And I'm working with her day in and day out. And in her world, when I put myself in her world, it's crazy. I could see all the trauma. I could see every human being that ever hurt her feelings. I could see how she tried from the time I was a child up until possibly early adulthood, going into my romantic relationships. I could see how everyone kind of took advantage of her. They hurt her, and all she's been doing, and she's ugly. You understand? I don't mean ugly as in unattractive. I mean ugly because all she's been doing is carrying all that external weight, all that external pain, all that external trauma and emotions from other people onto herself. And it's a lot to kind of wheel her back in, to detach her. First of all, we have to detach her from all that trauma, from all those traumatic people. And one thing that, trauma does create is Stockholm syndrome. And I will tell you, like the relationship that I witnessed in meditation in my solar plexus, sometimes it shocks me, because it's just like, wow, that's what I went through. Like, oh my God, like, wow. You understand? So work on you. Be so truthful with yourself that it scares you. You have to be so honest with yourself that it scares you. And don't be afraid to go into those ugly parts of you, because believe it or not, if you go into those ugly parts of you, you'll find the handler. You'll find whose hand is manipulating your energetic body to make you behave the way that you behave. And you'll trail back that timeline and you'll see where it all started from, who it started from. And it's not you, it's that person. I hope this helps. We're going to go straight into that full moon. So I'm going to start the full moon reading with just a question. When you think about the energy of Scorpio, what do you think about? You can put it in the comments. You can just react with an emoji. Answer that question and then apply that question to yourself. Here's a mystery that no one really focuses on. When you are an expert or you're used to reading birth charts, you know that every zodiac falls within your birth chart. Your sun may be an X sign, your moon can be in another sign, and then there are about 6 to 7 other key spaces in your existence and your life journey that the different signs fall into. One of the most critical aspects of the birth chart is the Saturn. If your Saturn falls into the sign of Scorpio, it means that Saturn will be testing you, but the test is mostly in your childhood. Now, the issue with the Saturn in Scorpio is that Saturn will contradict majority of the other signs of your birth chart. So if you guys want to take a moment, and you can just Google this, run your birth chart, have your date of birth, your time of birth, your place of birth, and just run your birth chart. You don't have to read the actual graph. Some people don't know how to read that. Read the actual placements. Figure out where your sun, your moon, your Mercury, your Venus, your Saturn, Uranus, your Pluto, all of those key energetic bodies lie. Once you know that, you'll be able to answer, what does the sign of Scorpio mean to you? My reason for asking this is because a lot of people, because we're lost in a very hurt world, we're lost in a very destructive world, a lot of people glamorize trauma. Now, I just ended the first half of the video talking about trauma, and a lot of people glamorize trauma. Excuse me, I almost choked. They use trauma as like a strength pinnacle. You understand? And that's not a positive thing. You can't grow if you're glamorizing your trauma. I'm strong because trauma. I'm this because trauma. Everything that is about you that makes you feel good about yourself is traumatic based. No offense to Scorpio, that is one of the traits of Scorpio. This full moon falls on a Tuesday. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Mars rules over action, Aries. It's on April 23rd. Our color is red. Red is the color of motion, movement, fire, action. And we have a split rulership on this Tuesday between Tuesday being ruled by Mars with the fiery Aries energy and Scorpio being ruled by Pluto. Now, keep in mind that our month's tarot is death in reverse. That's why we're talking about trauma. Okay? I'm not sure how spiritually awakened you are, how truthful or honest you are with your life experience from the beginning when you became aware of who you are up until now. With me, sometimes it's like disgusting how honest I am with myself. I don't have the time or the space to lie to myself. One, I know I'm a very traumatized person, which is why I seclude myself from the public. I don't want other people's aware trauma affecting my life. I don't want to have conversations with people who don't know who they are. I don't want to socialize with people who don't understand where they're operating from. So I stay to myself. I always joke with myself. I'm like, if anything ever happened, you really, outside of the past trauma, energetic relationships that you have, that you're trying to cut the umbilical cord off of, you really can't blame any new people. Why? Because you're still dealing with the trauma. The trauma that you experience as a child, as a teen, as a young adult in romantic relationships still haunts you to the point where you have pulled away from reality. And pulling, excuse me, I almost choked again. And pulling away from reality kind of shows you that everybody's operating from their traumatic bodies. It's disgusting. Okay? It's disgusting to see. Like, once you pull away and you're able to view the world like from clear lenses, you really see like your favorite celebrities, your favorite athletes, your political leaders, every person on the face of this earth, your gurus, everyone on the face of this earth is operating from a traumatic body. Those 7 chakras that we're always talking about, they're not operating from the balanced 7 chakras. They're operating from the closed, the overworked, or the imbalanced, or the new one that crip walks across our lives that we're so unaware of, the traumatized one. It doesn't matter. As you're listening to me, run through your thoughts. Just run through your thoughts of your favorite celebrities. I mean, your favorite. Like, they can't do no wrong in your eyes. And I can imagine that what your subconscious mind is going to pin back to you. You can run any celebrity, because I know a lot of us are in that celebrity socializing mentality. Run any celebrity that you feel like has everything you've ever wanted, all the clothes, jewelry, materials, the lifestyle, the travel, the this, the that. And your subconscious will be like, well, when this happened to them, that's how they reacted. When this happened to them, that's how they reacted. They're as traumatized as you are. Now, when we reach that point where we realize we live in a traumatic reality, we can then begin to heal ourselves. So here we are as adults. We've surpassed the childhood traumas, the teenage mistakes, the young adult tribulations into more mature stages of our lives. Our focus right now, this full moon, is the energy of Scorpio. I adore this little crustacean, whatever this little thing is. I adore it only because, pay attention to this picture. I use this picture specifically. Everyone always talks about the scorpion stinger. That's that big bulb at the end of the tail. But if you notice, it has 2 claws. It has, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 little legs. And then that body is filled with whatever the body is filled with. That is a creature of armor. That is a predator. Listen to what I just said to you. That is a creature of armor. That is a predator. Because it is so small, it always has to defend itself. Because it is so small, it's always in a space of hiding from reality, running from reality. Because reality can be very scary when you're small and yet you're designed to prey on things. That's your focus this full moon. Don't focus on your trauma. Do not focus on the trauma. What you want to do is heal the trauma by recognizing that this full moon is filled with armor. I can armor myself. I can fight off that death in reverse. I could use the energy of fire in Aries during the new moon. I can use that red energy and force myself forward, knowing that I'm armored and I'm safe. I had a previous recording that kind of got distorted. I'm happy it got distorted because I was so focused on the trauma. I wasn't focused on the healing. But one thing I did say in that previous recording was go into this full moon on a defense. Defend yourself. As you walk through your trauma, as you walk through your healing, focus on yourself. Heal self. Defend self. Defend self against every realm of reality that you've ever had to live and walk through. And I mean, if you follow my channel, you know I'm all about you. The eyes behind the shell, the energy behind the vessel, you. My entire teenage years, I tried to find a way. Is it spirit? Is it energy? What are we? You know, when the body falls to the ground and returns back to the earth, that you, the you that ascends out of the body, the you that we never see, like air that flows throughout our atmosphere, that you. Focus on defending that you, because that's the you that's been fighting in this life. Like, there's a part of me that's like, imagine it's a video game and you jumped into your NPC, your mind, body, your emotions, all of those are NPC areas of yourself. The you that's controlling all of that. The you that's managing all of that. And as people, as individuals, we really hardly take time to realize on a day-to-day basis how difficult it is to be a human. That was one of the main reasons to why I focused on trauma, because I could have focused on the glorification of the mystery, the secretist, blah, 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 of the Scorpion, but all of that comes from protecting yourself and the trauma that you don't want to experience from others. If there's ever a lesson that Scorpio can teach us, is isolate yourself so that you're not attacked. Isolate yourself so that you're not attacked, so therefore no one has access to you. If no one has access to you, when those other handlers are coming into your life, when those other traumatic energies are coming into your life, you could quickly see them. You could quickly see them. And you can further defend yourself. Because like I said before, the scorpion, that little crustacean, whatever that thing is, whatever scorpions identify as in our food chain, that little creature that's scurrying around in the ground with its tail up, it's a defense prey. It's a predator that's on a defense mode. That tail that's going up is defending itself. So if you're like me and you have a bull in your sun sign and a scorpion in your moon sign, has bull charge, Scorpio defense. That's one of the reasons why I couldn't understand why my life is like so messed up. Like, why the energetic bodies of my life is so messed up. Because I'm like, hold on, I'm a perfect person. I don't know how your sun and your moon are split, but mine is like disgustingly perfect. Has bull charge, Scorpio protects and defends. So it should be very hard to hit me, because you got two complete things going, offense and defense are going on at the same time. And I think this full moon for this chance, and I think the mistake of the recording too, because if I didn't pick up on that mistake of the recording, I would have sent the message out like that. But I'm telling you, the message that I'm sending to you right now versus what I recorded 10 minutes ago are two different energetic bodies. I was literally speaking from trauma the first time I recorded this. And now I'm speaking from my balanced self. And I just realized one thing. I am a offense defense within my own little self circle. It should be very hard to penetrate my energy. I've given my handlers, my traumatizers, my victimizers way too much benefit. It's like you were handing out trophies and they didn't, it's like the modern day. You know how when we were growing up, when you were going to school, there was the basic, the gifted, and then there was the basic, the honors, and the gifted, right? It's like I'm practicing modern day where everyone gets a trophy, but you got to pay for it. I don't want to practice that anymore. I want to compartmentalize these energies. I want to compartmentalize these traumas. If you didn't have that much effect on me, I shouldn't have to give you all my attention every day. Do that for yourself. Practice offensive and defensive protection on yourself. Use your energetic bodies for the benefit of growth within you. Stop allowing these useless ass traumatizers, these useless ass victimizers to take advantage of you, because clearly you're stronger than them and you didn't deserve what they put you through. We're going to move into the last part, which hopefully clears everything up. So here we are. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. When I was pulling the cards at the end and beginning of this year, I read April and I was like, let me just wait to see what the year has to hold before I move into the second quarter readings. And when I saw, the new moon in Aries, the full moon in Scorpio, the first thing I thought was, oh, that's not going to be fun, because we all know Arian and Scorpion energy does not get along. Like, they don't get along. Ram and Scorpio does not get along. I don't know how long you've been studying zodiac, how long you've been studying the stars, the tarot. If you open yourself to do this work, you will understand that whenever it's a reading with Aries and Scorpio in the same space, Aries don't like it. The energy of Aries don't mess with Scorpio, and that's because Aries is so straightforward, so honest. It is what it is type of energy, and Scorpio is more secretive, hiding behind the bush, being manipulative. And Aries, you see, I just said that and my left side of my brain just started hurting. Aries doesn't get along with that. Neither is stronger or weaker than the other. It's just the fact that, like, if you could imagine the boardroom versus the streets. There's two lifestyles, there's two energies, there's two journeys, it's different. Aries is more about, let's go into the boardroom, get things done, which is why Aries and Taurus gets along so well, versus Scorpio. Not saying that Scorpios were supposed to be poor, living on the streets or anything like that. Their decision making process forces those type of energies, if that makes sense. You understand? I will always share the story that I heard when I was doing deep meditation on being a Scorpion, and that I applied to my moon and my Saturn in Scorpio. The frog that was chilling in its habitat, the lake, and then the Scorpion wanted to get across the lake, so it asked the frog, who's a master of its habitat, to give it a ride on its back across the lake. Now the frog, being such a nice being, decided, sure, hop on my back and I'm gonna give you a ride across the lake. Midway across the lake, the Scorpion stings the frog. The frog is now poisoned, and the Scorpion and the frog start descending into the lake. And right before the frog dies, the frog asks the Scorpion, why would you sting me midway into the our destination? And the Scorpion simply answered, I'm a Scorpion, that's what I do. Okay? That is one of the most powerful analogies of what a Scorpion is. That's what they do. That's who they are. It doesn't matter. You could be the sweetest romantic couple. You could be the nicest parent. You could be the most perfect child. At one point, they're going to sting you. Which is why this reading in April was just like, my energy is like, oh my God. Because I had to deal with the balance, yes, Aries has their faults too. They get angry. But I'd rather deal with anger than the needlessness of being hurt by a Scorpion and then being blamed for it. I'd rather deal with the anger of the ram than just being stung and blamed for reacting to the pain of the burning sting by the Scorpion. That's our April. That's our April. And where the Aryan energy is telling us, focus on your adulthood and push forward, the full moon is telling us it's something in your childhood that's preventing you from pushing forward. So you're going to have to heal that before you could drag your adult self forward. And most times out of 10, it was you trusted someone and they scorpioned your butt. They scorpioned your butt. And they became a narcissist and you became their victim, and they became your handler and you became their puppet. That's the relationship. Comment below if you're in a relationship with a Scorpion and they're like the perfect partner ever. I'm gonna have you post for me their birthday and date, time and place, and we're gonna run a birth chart on that perfect Scorpio so we could try to duplicate more of them. Cause I ain't met one Scorpion that is not going to sting you at one point for absolutely no reason. They just spaz out on you. Like, it's just like, well, okay. So we're here now. Alrighty. This is a rough place to be in. That's your relationship with yourself right now. Your adult self is like, I'm ready to move on. You ready? And your childhood self is like, I think I still got one more thing to work on. And that's the connection between your victimizer, your traumatizer, your handler, and that you, that innocent you, that they still think they can go and just attack again. Just sting one more time. Let me get one more reaction out of you. And if you're not careful, that's going to do more harm than good. Because I'm telling you, as I was reading this energy, I had this very chaotic ball of energy come over me. And I'm like, well, that's not me. What is that? And I could see, the relationship when I was stating that everyone around you is operating from their traumatic space. I could see the relationship between your real self versus this new age self that we're all trying to navigate through. And it's not easy, but we could do it. Be honest with yourself, all right? That's my 2 cents on the full moon in Scorpio. It doesn't deal with your adult self. Your adult self would use the Scorpion energy, which is sacral energy, for like sexual, sensual. Nah, we ain't there. We're not there. We are not there. We are still in hurt, traumatized. We need to heal. All right? We are not in the space of adult Scorpion. Pull out the whips and chains. Let's practice some S&M. We are not there. Not, at least not this April 2024. The energy is not there. The energy would force it, and it would not be fun. Because I know a lot of time when people think about Scorpion, they're like, well, that's what we can do. The dungeon. And no, don't do it. Sit your butt on some grass, grab some stones, and meditate. Heal that Scorpion energy. Because all you're going to do is traumatize it more. We're not there. That solar plexus is looking down at that sacral energy and telling it, you got some work to do. Because I got some stuff to do and I can't get it done because this relationship between us is not working. So, all right, let's go into our surprise. Our second card of the tarot is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is the Earth tarot. It deals with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you know anything about Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they are ruled by the Earth sign of grounding, stability, traditions, commitment, and all that fun stuff. We can go through the zodiac signs if you want, apply them as we need to, or we could just jump right into the meaning of the tarot. The meaning of the tarot, it's just saying that, look, you did this, you work hard, and now it's time to win. You'll win this time, this round, this battle was for the long run. This win that you're about to experience is for the benefit of forever. You understand? For the rest of your journey, you will have fought this war and won it and benefit from it going forward. That's the 7 of Pentacles. And that's aligning with the general reading of your life. Like, it's not aligning with your love, money. No, it's everything together. Everything. You understand? You've invested your time. You've studied your energies. You've maximized your ability to correct who you are. And now you're about to realize the reward. Let's break down the relationship between this month and these 3 zodiac signs. First, we're going to keep in mind our 2 ruling signs, which is Aries and Scorpio. Taurus, beginning with Taurus. Taurus is the opposer, as much as Scorpio is the opposer to Taurus. Taurus and Aries work together. The only thing is, when they disagree, those horns get to bumping. You have the balance the stability, the security of Taurus with the go get 'em action, quick motion of Aries, your new moon should be good. And that's the same thing with Virgo and Scorpio. When it comes to Aries, earth signs work very well with Aries. With fire signs, earth signs are tremendously beneficial to fire signs. Our issue, of course, is your water sign. Now, because water dissolves, water breaks down, water goes through mostly anything on the face of this earth, water will corrode even metal. You have to be very careful with that scorpion energy. Remember, water moves around us. So as you're thinking, I'm drinking the water for nourishment, the water could actually be poisoning you, if that makes any kind of sense. So you have to be very careful with that full moon. Earth signs and water signs, they don't go well together. Only because, like I said before, water signs have the ability to break you down even when you don't want to be broken down. I'll break it down for you with all the water signs. You have Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, right? The good and the bad in each of those signs, but the solid consistency of those signs is breaking you down. Scorpio will break you down using narcissism. Cancer will break you down using emotional manipulation, and Pisces will break you down using passive aggression. Okay, earth signs don't mess with those energies. Like earth signs, like I wake up every day, I planned out my day, and I would like my plan to go accordingly. I know it's 4 o'clock. I have a 4 o'clock appointment. I'm about to leave my house at 3:30. I expect to get to my appointment accordingly. That's how earth signs operate. Whereas water signs, they kind of mix. They don't plan for nothing. First of all, they don't plan for nothing. They kind of mix things. They go up, they go down. They're everywhere. And it's just like, ooh, I cannot function in this energy. This is giving me a headache. My brain aches. So that's your full moon. And that's being very honest. I'm not putting pressure or attacking any signs. I'm just doing compatibilities. Earth signs and water signs, it takes a lot of compromise for those signs to go together. Now, I would say even within myself, I have a strong mixture of earth and water signs, and sometimes I'm so chaotic. I sometimes be thinking like, am I bipolar? And I laugh. I'm like, of course you're bipolar. Your sun is in earth and your moon is in water. Ha ha ha. But it's not funny. It's not funny. It's one of the most chaotic relationships within self. Now imagine, you know the chemistry and the frequency of yourself. Now imagine having to have that relationship with an external person, or having to welcome an external energy of that sort within your element, within your source of existence. You got to be very careful. So closing out the month, we're starting with strong, powerful, fiery energy burning through that winter, letting us know spring and summer is up on us. Get sexy, people, because that's what Aries and Taurus is all about. Let's get sexy. And then as we go into that full moon, the darkness kind of returns with that scorpion energy and is telling us, look, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm just telling you, these are the parts of you that you need to work on so that we can finally reach the end and realize that 7 of Pentacles. I hope that made sense for everyone. I hope it's not too chaotic of an April, but that's what I read. That's what I got. I try to be as transparent and honest with the energies. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I will never sugarcoat anything for anyone. That's what I'm reading from the beginning of me making the decision. Let me start making these videos. There was like the chaos of the modern day of 2024 kind of took over, and then I'm mentally comparing the first 3 months that I recorded, and I'm like, oh, I recorded the first 3 months off of the energy and the closure of 2023 with the expectations of 2024, and now we're actually in 2024, and 2024 is like, oof. It's a year. It's giving a year. It's giving a year. It's a year. I'm not sure how it's gonna be by the end of it, but it's a year. It's a year. It's definitely a year. So everybody hold on, put on your seatbelts, buckle down, and let's get through the month. Let's jump into May and see what energies we're looking forward to in May. And don't hold your breath for any big changes, because everything comes from within. You gotta change from within to change from without. I'll see you guys next month.